to Norway for what is almost certainly the last time. I don't think I am going to be sticking around. I have been a little tempted. And when you look at the league table, you can see possibly why. We won the league by 29 points. We set a new record for points and wins. We went unbeaten. We are basically the powerhouse in Norway at the moment. Keeping this squad together would be very difficult. They're already starting to ramp up with the messages about, oh, this person's wanted, that person's wanted. Frankly, the likes of Jakobsen, Sjursen, possibly Sandvik, Grossu. Who else have we got? Jugai, who is now injured. Volan obviously is already off. So most of those top players are probably going to be going, or it's going to be very difficult to keep hold of them and keep them happy without, really upsetting the side. So, yeah. Kind of don't want to be the one to have to do that. The board have tried to dangle a 4-year contract in front of me. I have got a year left on my deal still, but I think we will be playing this game against Sparta Prague in the Europa League, which I think if we win, we're probably going to be qualifying for the knockouts. And I won't be doing the last 2 group games if I do leave, because I will be resigning before that. Very disappointing defeat in the last European game. We had another one of our no-show days where we really just did not turn up against what turns out was probably an unmanaged Eintracht Frankfurt. They are without a manager at the moment. And have to say, kind of tempted to go there, because they're supposed to be doing a lot better than they are. They're 17th in the Bundesliga, but they are a much better team than that. I mean, let's face it, they are in the Europa League this season, so clearly last season they were good, or at least won a cup. And they're supposed to finish sort of about 7th or 8th probably this season. So, and it's a country I've not managed in. It's a little, well, it's not too restrictive on the squad. It's similar sort of restrictions to Norway, but of course, there's a lot more good Germans than there are good Norwegians, especially that will still play in Germany. Really good Norwegians obviously tend to disappear out of the country. Right, put on a real show, because it could be the last show you ever get to do for me, boys. Snow is on the ground. Christmas is in the air. It's the 8th of December. And Blindman Jones will be hoping to leave Vålerenga on a high. I said it wrong. It's Slavia Prague, not Sparta Prague. I'd imagine Sparta might well be in the Champions League this season, or at least originally. Just like we were. Now, Ingile, you may have noticed, the sharp-eyed amongst you, realizes that he's now playing on the right, and it's because while we're trying to lose that trait of his that causes him to not play well on the left, because he always wants to run down the right. Oh good, Sjursen's injured. Okay, Holton it is then. And we'll swap them round. Yeah, I decided that, well, if he wants to run down the right, then admittedly he's supposed to be cutting in from the right in that role, but at least he's on the side of the pitch he kind of seems to want to be on. Oh, Gronstad fires wide. And he has been playing better on the right, so it seemed to have been a better move for him. What it has meant is that Bjornbach has had to sort of shift to the left, but he is unavailable at the moment. We have had some injury problems of late. Djukanovic has been very patchy, not particularly great. And in the run of games you haven't seen, we have had 2 more penalties that have been missed. Vollan missed one, Sjursen missed one. So our penalty record this season is, I think, probably about 7 awarded that I can remember, maybe more. And we have scored 2 of the 7 that I remember. There may be a couple of others, so it may be slightly better than that. But you'll be lucky if we're scoring 50% of our penalties, in all honesty. Which, given that they're supposed to be scored at a rate of about 80%, is really bad. Okay, anyway. How's the game going? Anyone been watching? Oh, talking of penalties. Oh, I'm not sure who's going to be taking this one, because Sjursen and Vollan are not on the pitch. So it's Djukanovic who scores. 1-0 Vålerenga. Yeah, really gutted that Zhugai has gone down. 2 to 3 month injury. Because we only signed him in August and he has a dozen assists already in half a season. He would have been way into the 20s if he'd been here all year and fit. So, yeah, really disappointed. I mean, he was starting to really boss that Ngonch position. Grossu tries to burst through. Ingile bails him out after not the best ball. Oh, Grossu is in. Cuts it back. Ingile, somebody shoot. There we go. Jakobsen, 7th goal of the season for the attacking fullback. He has been magnificent. Let's have a look. Yeah, 7 goals, 7 assists as well. Had a fantastic season. Excuse me. Oh, Gronstad keeping his legs out the way. It's 2-0. We are up into 4th place there, and I think, like I said, a win here and that will basically be kind of job done. Getting to the knockouts is, I think, what we should be sort of looking at. I don't know how far this team could go in this competition. I guess we'll find out, but that will also depend very much on how many people they lose in the January window. Because I think this team might get picked apart in January without me here. And honestly, there are 1 or 2, in fact most of the people I mentioned before, that I would not mind taking with me wherever I end up going. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Djukanovic. He's done well there. Jakobsen lofts it over. Ingile! 3-0. Well, as long as we keep playing like this for the next hour, then we are going to watch the replay of this, because we didn't see an awful lot of it because the ball colour is not great. Bit of a deflection, but we'll take it. Then this is going to be like the perfect way to sign off with a very good European win. Kind of underlining where we've taken this side to, because I mean, just remember, they were kind of struggling and possibly in a little bit of relegation trouble when I took over 3.5 years ago. And we are now looking really good in the Europa League, which is a level above, oh my word, how did he miss that? The competition that I thought we'd be able to compete in. And, you know, 2 titles, should have been a double last season, honestly. Led the cup final and one better result in any of the numerous draws we managed to flounder our way to last season would have won us the league. So, yeah, it could have been 3 straight titles and a cup. Yeah, okay. I'll tell them I'm happy. They'll probably be so surprised they'll concede 4 goals in the second half now, but okay, they've got an injured player out there. Something put himself about though, is it? Budinski. one more shot on target than them, but I mean our XG is far in excess of theirs. Obviously just been creating much better chances. Obviously we've had a penalty which is contributing to that, but there's still like 2.2 XG other than that in about 9 shots. That is a phenomenal rate of XG per chance. That one's probably brought it down a bit. 0.15. Ingele, Jakobsen, Grossu, no. Trying to work it in there. Ingele, cutting across the pitch. Back in position. Grossu, Ingele. Oh. Think you probably should have passed that on, to be honest. I think he would have been clean in if you'd have just slipped it on one more man. Holton, I've been pleased with the way he's come in. He's done a job basically pretty well every time we've asked him to. Scored a few goals. Yeah, really solid reserve. I'm very pleased with basically all my signings so far this season. I mean, Jugai has been great. Djukanovic has been fantastic when he's played, generally speaking. Like I say, occasional dip, but he is inconsistent. We know that. I mean, Ingele, having got him on the right, as you can see in this game, he's absolutely bossing the game. 8.7 match rating. Get him in the right position, he's fine. Slips it to Vikland. Crossed in. Grossu with the header. He's been being named Young Romanian Player of the Month for the last few months. Dedicating them to me, bless his little cottons. I mean, he's one who could be fantastic, and I mean, the offers we were getting for him when the transfer window was open was absolutely disgraceful. I mean, Arsenal at one point came in with a bid of 1 point something million. So, I mean, once I stopped laughing, I did just put down the phone on them. Right, Diouf. What are you doing, Mush? What are you doing? Actually, do you know what we're going to do? What we're going to do, Diouf, is we're going to take you off. We're going to put Kringstad on and we're going to push Holton out there because he can do the job out there quite happily because it's virtually a centre-back job anyway. I'm going to put Siva Ars on for the slightly disappointing Grossu. We're still controlling the game. Haven't managed to score in the second half. Oh, they cleared it. It's not too easy to see that ball, is it? It'd be a lot easier if the pitch was actually all white, but on a sort of greenish with slightly brown sort of bits on it. Oh, slips it wide. Background, an orangey ball doesn't really show up all that brilliantly. Okay, that's yours, Elborg. He will be leaving the club presumably at the end of the season because he's out of contract and I haven't bothered. We did have a little bit of bother from the goalkeeper I did sign in August, who has been sat there in the second team for 3 months at this point, and nary said a word, and then all of a sudden he was complaining that he'd been left out of the elite Syrian squad. So, you know, a little bit late to complain now. I mean, obviously, if I was staying here, my plan would have been to push him up. He's actually probably the best goalkeeper we've got, to be perfectly honest, but I'm not mucking about with the squad now and risking upsetting someone else. And then the problem solved itself because he went down injured for 4 to 7 months, I think. So, or was it 3 to 4? Long-term injury anyway. Basically, he was out of the equation and, yeah, problem was solved. Well, disappointing we haven't been able to add to that, but I'm happy with that being the way we sign off. We are in the top 8 of the Europa League group. We're probably pretty much qualified. I mean, 5 points clear of 25th. Honestly, can't see everyone getting enough points to overhaul us. So, yeah. Job done. Just very disappointed we lost that cup game against Lillestrøm, really, because I think we could have done the double this season if we'd have showed up that day. Anyway, that is Norway completed. Okay, we've got to the end of season review, so we don't normally show you this, but we'll just have a look. I mean, some of the signings we made: Jakobsen, Jugai, Sjursen. Tapia played more of a role than I thought he was ever going to. Holton did really well when he came in. Djukanovic did pretty well. Ingele, once we'd sorted out what side he really should be playing. And that's basically it. I mean, all of those players made a good impact. All of them scored. All but one of them got an assist, and the only one who didn't was Holton, who didn't play that many games and was a centre-back. So, yeah, I mean, they were making impacts all over the place. And I mean, you've seriously... I don't understand how I get such a low score on the transfers thing, because the ones they've actually marked me on are all B somethings, and my transfers was like a C plus or something. It's ridiculous. As you can see, fantastic season. We conceded 10 goals. We won the league by 29 points. We set a new Elite Syrian record for points scored. If we could only have beaten odds, who drew with us both times, and that frustratingly bad performance against Hod. But other than that, I mean, we were 3 goals away from being perfect, and I have a feeling we actually took the lead in both of these games. So a little bit better defending and 1 goal there, and who knows? Who knows? But I have got a little achievement pop for going unbeaten for an entire season, so that's good. And for getting 20 clean sheets in a season, actually, as well. Okay, that was our biggest wins. The finances, blah-de-blah-de-blah. We're not too bothered. You see, look at that. It's your guy. The impact that boy's made since he's been here since August. 4 months. He's been injured for about the last few weeks. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's got Gronstadt. I mean, I suppose Gronstadt did play quite a few games in there, but yeah, that is a good side. Okay, the accolades. Yeah, Jakobsen, fans player of the season and young player of the season. Tapia, signing of the season, interesting. Goal of the season was Solberg Nielsen, who was ended up in the B team. Bruno Valan was top goal scorer. If only we'd signed him to that contract earlier, that would have sealed him. See, I mean, Jugai, 12 assists in half a season, best of the team. Siva Ass, pretty much always put in a really good shift when he came on. Let's see, Marcus Sjursen, 19-year-old wonder kid. Yeah, so a couple of record breakers. Elborg, 21 clean sheets. That's going to be so tough for anyone else to ever beat. And Jugai, probably if he sticks around, will beat that himself next season, because he will easily get more than 12 assists in a full season. There we go. Took a little while to get going. No, we came out of the traps like a thoroughbred greyhound. So yeah, right. Well, there we are. Invincible. All those boys have got a medal. Blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. 2.2 million paid out. 945,000 received. Balance isn't great. It has been a lot higher, but that was Champions League money. So yeah, that is it for Norway, and I will have a look around and see what jobs are available, and if I don't fancy any that are available yet, I'll bide my time a little bit. This is quite a good time to be trying to get one, because obviously transfer window is just around the corner, so if I can get something I can make changes immediately to a side that might be struggling. So yeah, we will see. Oh, hello. Due to the rising reputation of the competition around the world, the price has increased by 16.9%. down to us because of what we're doing in Europe, and the story of us being unbeaten. Tell you, taking Norwegian football to the next level. I'm going to leave it there and try and do better somewhere else. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed our 3.5 years in Norway. I certainly have, for the most part. I know there's been whinging and ranting, but it's me. So next time we will be somewhere else. Thank you very much for joining me. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time from wherever. Bye bye for now.